David was now the king over all Israel. He wanted to bring the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem, the special chest that symbolized God's throne. The Ark was put on a new cart and taken from the house of Abinadab, where it had been kept. Abinadab's sons, Uzzah and Ahio, drove the cart. David and the Israelites celebrated with songs and music. But when one of the oxen that were pulling the cart stumbled, Uzzah put out his hand and took hold of the ark. The Lord was angry with Uzzah because the ark was holy and was not to be touched. Uzzah was struck down dead. David was angry and didn't want the ark in Jerusalem anymore, so it stayed in Obed-Edom's house for 3 months. Everything went well for Obed-Edom during that time, so David decided the ark should come to Jerusalem. As it came in, David danced before the Lord with all his might. When his wife, Michal, saw him dancing and leaping, she thought it wasn't good for a king to behave like that. But David said he was rejoicing in the Lord. David wanted to build a house for the Lord, where the Ark of the Covenant could be kept. But God told him that it would be his son who built a temple. God also promised that he would make David great, and that he would establish his throne forever. That meant someone in David's family would reign for all eternity. David was amazed at God's kindness and gave thanks to him in prayer. After this, David fought many enemies and defeated them, and he ruled justly and righteously over the people of Israel. He decided he wanted to show kindness to Saul's family because of the friendship he'd had with Saul's son Jonathan. A man called Ziba told him about Jonathan's son Mephibosheth. He was crippled in both his feet so that he couldn't walk. David sent for Mephibosheth and gave him all of Saul's land and said he could eat at the king's table. Mephibosheth was amazed. He came to live in Jerusalem and always ate at the royal table and was treated like one of the king's sons. We learn from this how pure and holy God is. Uzzah was struck down for disobeying God's instructions. All disobedience to God deserves his punishment. And we learn that David's family would reign forever. This promise has come true with the Lord Jesus Christ. He comes from David's family, and he will be king for all eternity. And we see a picture of undeserved kindness. Mephibosheth was treated like part of David's family, even though he had done nothing to deserve it. And an even greater king, the Lord Jesus, invites us into God's royal family,